What is going on? I'm Zedmot coming to you from that smokestack. So season 73 is getting towards its waning crescent or some sort of term that has something to do with the moon, but we have creator code Zedmot over there in the shop. Now, my main account that I've been pushing this season, I managed to get it up into rank 24, and I don't think I can get any higher. Just everyone else has Kavan, and Kavan just gives you some hits that I just can't do without it. So I do have Brick, and by the way, if you have Brick, I highly recommend using your extra tokens to max her and switching to that right there, that cluster grenade, because she does a ton of damage. But this account, we do not have Brick, and we do have the troop health. And by the way, just for so you can see that I'm not making things up, I fell out of 24, trying to get a little bit higher, and I'm sitting somewhere around there. So I did get up to 24.15, and I just don't have the patience where you like win and you get 3 stars and then you lose 12. So I'm going to show you how I have been bus rushing. Just unlocked heavy choppas, and we're just bus rushing our way through this. Just full bus rush. And you can very much use this like even against 7 engine rooms. Like, I'm getting rid of a shock launcher, using second wind to get some rifles for slightly more DPS, possibly. Throw in some critters, because I've got all of the tools, and then just going through with all heavy choppas. Probably could go faster if I was to use bombardiers, but honestly just don't even need to yet. So if you are in 6 engine rooms, the window is closing. Get into diamond as soon as you can, because that right there, that troop damage just wipes the floor with 6s. So not only do you have building health, but you also have troop damage. So the end of this tree is just so strong. So either go to 7 and get that stuff, which is a heck of a lot of keys. 150 plus one, we'll call that 190, 220 plus like 250, 280. 3. It's just so many keys. So hunkering down in 6 might be your only option with 6 days left. But I'll show you again. Just heavy bus rush. Heavy bus rush, heavy bus rush. And you don't have to flare on things. Like you'll see here, I'm just using a little bit of GBE to get rid of some stuff of where I'm going, because those critter launchers are a little bit dangerous. And then once we got rid of that, need to get rid of that back sky shield. And you'll see I'm just going to like leak 1 artillery at a time. And then eventually it goes down and we get a shock and a flare, and Bob's your uncle. Good times roll. Yellow buses with Kavan, just walking through and over and just crushing some things. So hoping to push this account into diamond. Even better be push it to 21.50. And my other account is in a rough state because it's not going to get to 24.50. I've basically given up on that. So rank 14 is out of the picture. So now this account, I just want to get it to rank 12 start. And seems possible. This tail right here, this is where I like to drop my troops. We'll get Kavan just a second wind something. And now 1, 2, 3, and should be good to just walk through everything now. Are those rifles worthwhile? I couldn't tell you, to be completely honest. I'm just doing it because it seems like it might be an idea. And at this point, we're going to flare onto nothing. I'm just going to hang out here for a little second. We'll flare onto there, and then we'll shock onto there, and that should get our troops to just clear some useful things. And notice that we got some things clearing the engine room and the shock launcher and all of the rest of the bits and pieces. Are we going to lose some heavy choppas? Yes, we definitely will. Do we care? Probably not. We'll find out here in a second or two if we actually care as we get that next shock. Critter launchers not doing anything at all. They're just kind of hanging in there. They can do a lot if you're not careful, though, and that's where we're going to shock in behind, getting the critter launcher and getting the microwaver. And then we're going to run past that engine room, which is going to get us away from the critter launchers. It's going to get us onto that shock launcher. And then we can come back with the old pull-out maneuver, as you guys have been learning and working on and practicing. And then engine room, And onto that last little bit as we throw a artillery on the shock mine and then the rest of the artillery on that engine room. And we are going to pick up a time of 2 minutes and 25 seconds on a fairly dirty base. Just heavy chopper, rush and go, and then throw some smoke to hide your troops so they don't know what hit them. 2:25. Psych Yoda. Come on, Psych. Are we getting them? Yes, we are. So they're coming in with fancier troops. Like, they're probably doing a smarter hit as the Popo go cruising on by. Is that police? Or if you guys can name that siren, I'll be impressed. I think that's police, though. But nonetheless, let's close the window, shall we? No, it's getting to be more Bambolance. Regardless, hope they're all right, whoever the heck that is. My kids would always say that anytime an ambulance went by. I kind of loved it, and they outgrew it. One of those things that, it's the little things, people. 6 engine rooms. So that engine room to the left is in a little bit of an awkward spot, as is that one over there. So, you know what? Let's just go this way. Sure, let's go like this. We're going to get over into here. And I will get a shock here just to make sure that our troops get going. 1, 2, 3. And I don't really need to worry too much about that Doom Cannon. Yeah, it's going to do a little bit of damage. You know what? We can throw some critters on it just to slow it down. We'll get our 1 second wind out. And by the way, I've never used more than 1 second wind. It's all about just the Uno. And then Uno, by the way, how about that new Brawl Stars mode with Uno? Really, really do dig it. My kids are big into cards. So the Uno Reverso card, leaning into the meme, well done. Supercell has been pretty darn smart about those sorts of things of late. And then we are going to keep moving this thing forward. I probably should have flared onto that critter launcher because it would have put our troops onto the engine room. When in doubt, flare further. Flaring farther tends to do a better job than flaring shorter. And now we are going to do exactly what I just talked about. We're going to go past, and we're going to be able to throw a smoke to make sure that our troops don't get bothered. And then we're going to come back and deal with that critter launcher in a second or two. And you might be thinking, Zed, you're giving too much credence, is that the right word, to critter launchers? But I honestly, anytime I fizzled, it's been because of critter launchers. So I am a little bit overcautious. I will fully admit it. But we're just going to get going right about now, trying to time those things halfway decent. And it looks like our opponent has already finished. Now, I don't know how much time I spent blabbering, but we need to get a move on and just getting the last of those artillery out. And if we get a Doom Cannon to take out one of our heavy choppers, we would have got a little bit more troops. I think we lost our win streak, though, and we didn't manage to hide all of our troops either. So maybe the siren screwed us up, but 4 left. What did you do for a time? 2:24. That is speedy. Did they use heavy chopper rush? Let's just have a look-see. And they did not. So they're bringing in the heavy chopper, rocket chopper, which is stronger when you use it well, but that is not what this video is about. This video is just about going, and you should not copy my base for obvious reasons. And this one looks to be reasonable. Looks to be reasonable. We're just same thing, folks. Like, there's no magic bullet here. It's just dropping our troops. As soon as that hot pot pops up, we're going to throw in artillery. That wasn't what I was talking about as far as artillery, but you get the basic ideas. We are getting our things moving. We're getting our troops onto things, getting some riflemen out. And now that we've gotten rid of that shock launcher right about now, let's send some of you guys across the gap. Does that work with heavy chopper? Not at all, because we're going to get some heavies mixed in, but you'll notice that we've got a decent amount of heavies that didn't go terribly far, just need to get a move on. And now getting over into here, getting away from that edge so our heavies drop in the right spot. And now I use so many, it is silly. Getting these couple engine rooms here down, and then we're just gonna go like snot, hopefully. That means fast. And then getting a move on. And now we're going to start to be in range of that shock launcher. So we're going to shock it before it can turn. and then same deal, just going. I don't care about this one critter launcher. One critter launcher will give us like 6 critters, whereas the shock launcher is a bigger deal because it will stop us in our tracks. Come on, heavy rush. Is there an art to heavy rushing? Yeah, a little bit, but let's be honest here. It's not super duper difficult. We're just going to get all of our heavies going, and then as soon as we can, we'll get our flares going. And let's throw some critters over there just to keep these things moving. And now, I probably did want to get my heavy choppas shot down, so those critters might have actually been detrimental, and we're just going to artillery and flare all the way through this, and let's get some more critters on that engine room, and we're going to get 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Is that going to be enough to win? Possibly. My base is quite strong, even though it's quite bad, so that last player did step out and absolutely crush us, but overall we should be fast enough that we don't have to worry about that sort of thing. And as far as the tech tree on this one goes, I have literally everything on the defensive side before 6, and then after 6 we've got the damage amp, and 6 did not bring us anything good defensively except for that damage amp. But if you want to go through Everspark and just give up on those 150 keys for the unlock for 7, you can go get yourself 3 more boom cannons, which are pretty gosh darn great. And we are going to wait for Sukuro. Did I say that? Susuro? That can't be a soft C, can it? And we're going to pick up the win, and I'm just going to keep pushing this thing to get it into diamond. I'm fairly confident that we can get it there. I might have to tweak my base a little bit. I don't really like how close my shock launcher is to all of these things. You probably can shock. Let's move this just like 1 tile that way to make that just slightly more difficult of a shock. And then maybe we'll even throw like our sniper tower here just to get a little bit more width out of that. And that looks a little bit better. Maybe we'll move that back a little bit just to make that shock a little bit tougher. Probably could also like put this underneath there, but let's be honest, no one is concerned by sky shields. You just get rid of them until there's 4 sky shields. That is like 4 sky shields is what is on the horizon. So we shall see how that goes. And this person has 100% building damage, but they do not have 100% true building health, so we're not all that concerned at all. We will let these guys get out, and then once they start moving, we're going to drop some critters. Kavan's going to give us some of those rifle dudes, and are those critters doing anything for us? Not really. And this, you know what? This looks like a great little line we've got here, so I'm just going to burn through this. Once we get our troops moving, I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to ignore everything about this base and see just how that goes, because sure, there are some flamethrowers and stuff, but shouldn't have to be too concerned with anything. And then we are going to flare back there. And the reason for that is just to make sure that we get in between those engine rooms, and then our troops can just clear all of the things. Not gonna work out super well, as you can see here by the fact that that shock launcher is now being a pain in my butt, but now we can get going, and the fact that they don't have any sky shields means that we can just use our GBE to do whatever the heck we want. And trying to flare early and often, and the fact that that shock launcher managed to shock 1 heavy was pretty gosh darn nice. And then we have got the GBE to just keep this train moving. You see how close that was? Now we need to throw an artillery in behind, which is going to give us a tiny bit more GBE so that we can get over into here, and a little bit of critters for a little bit of extra goodness, and all of our troops just walking through the 7 engine room bases. You can get 230s on here if you've got brick and battle orders, but I do not, so we're going to use Kavan and just walk through them. Zeus and Hercules, what have you got going for you? Not a lot. Looks like a fizzle incoming. So another easy win. We'll just keep on chugging along into diamond, hopefully, is the goal here. And I don't think this one is going to have enough to unlock this stuff. I mean, I might just unlock Everspark to try to get a little bit of extra goodness there, but overall, just pushing on forward and waiting for the next opponent. And while we wait, let's jump back in here. Just a reminder, keep those boom pass missions going. There is not a lot of time. There we go. A little bit of time to get there, but the boom pass missions are not done yet. There's a little bit of time, a little bit longer than the season, obviously, but those skins are pretty darn great, and it would really suck to put the money towards the boom pass and then not unlock the final skins. And just because you've bought the boom pass does not mean that you're going to get all the skins. You have to actually earn them as well. A little bit of a weirdness there. Some people have been confused, so I thought I would throw that one out there. And now just heavy rush. And like, I hope I'm beating this topic to a pulp and kind of overdoing it, but all of you have more, like, some of the times you guys say that I can pull off some hits with some fancy maneuvers, and you need zero fancy maneuvers when it comes to this strategy. That is part of the reason why I wanted to make gosh darn sure that I brought this video out. You see here, we're just walking through the base, like zero cares, zero problems, just getting over top of this stuff. And this is where it's important, like flare a little bit further. It gets you past that hot pot, and then you can always throw that shock there and then come back a little bit. And we're going to get rid of these engine rooms one by stinking one, maybe throw a smoke or two just to make gosh darn sure that our troops get going where we want them to. And then the shock launcher will start shocking like ridiculous things that we don't care about. Just absolutely wandering through, just a nice little walk in the park. Like, look at that. That shock launcher got zero troops. Like, did not bother us in the slightest. And we're going to pick up, they had 2 sky shields, at least 2 shock launchers, and a hot pot and a doom cannon. And we got a 232. Just absolutely autopilot. So, against Kavan, James Bond. They are coming though. Look at this. They are kamikaze flaring like an absolute crazy person, but they just lost their rocket chopper. And now, are they going to have enough here? This is the question. Are they going to have enough? Our critter launchers, our shock launchers, and I don't think are going to have enough. They're going to have a halfway decent time. Looks like they might have used 3 boats of heavy chopper, maybe even 4. But just all buses all the time, just flaring and walking and cruising and zero problems whatsoever. What did you get, Kavan? That's a pretty good time, actually. So what do we got here? We got 232 versus 218. Cruising and cruising. And what do we got here? A 222, 226. They fizzled. 225. See, there's the bad time. 2 minutes 6, they fizzled, and 232. So pretty gosh darn good times. 6 engine rooms. Does work for the second, like we talked about. Do I keep going until we get diamond? I kind of want to. I guess we'll keep going until our next loss, which might be now. They only have 40% building damage. That's very strange. Every time I see these kind of bases, I want to do something different. You very much can do. And by the way, I'll do a quick drawing of what the top players are doing with their rocket choppas and their Kavans, because it works incredibly well. We're going to get Kavan over here, and we'll send you guys over there. And where can we get our critters? Let's go. Let's just get this side, and we'll get our critters over onto here, and we'll get Kavan, and we're just going to let these guys just spread wide, and heavies are going to do all of the work. We got rid of that rocket launcher, and now we're just going to keep that shock going. And why I'm shocking on that left-hand side is just because I didn't feel like many troops We're going to go to that left-hand side, and then we actually got a pretty gosh darn decent spread, and it's more the middle that I probably should have used my GBE to protect, but overall, not bad at all. And bringing back some heavies, I broke my unspoken rule there. I said I was only going to do one, and then we did two, and now we're going to get a shock about there just to slow that thing's roll. And cruising on forwards. Just no skill required with these heavy dudes. Just absolutely and utterly walking through. Critters on the machine gun just because otherwise that cannon's going to be a bit of a pain in our derriere. And then, you know what, let's throw a shock there because the little bit of extra damage we can get on this engine room on this right-hand side will be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated because it looks like we're not getting a heck of a lot of damage over there. And then getting the final flare and the artillery and 226. Like, come on. Falkor, another beast player. Beast player. So if we can pull off the win against Falkor, I'll be very happy. Don't fizzle, Falkor. No, I haven't faced Falkor in a long minute. So a shout out to Mr. Falkor. That one, right? You know what? Falkor, I'm going to give you a sad. There's some people I hate taking stars from, and Falkor is definitely one of them. Beast player. I have been lucky enough not to match up with him in the last couple seasons, but we're cruising towards Diamond, my friends. This video is getting longer than I had anticipated, but the heavy choppas are just cruising. We are in cruise control. This person only has 50% building health, so we are just gonna, you guessed it, get going. Kavan, you guys go up there. And now where are we going to use our artillery? Don't see anywhere that we really need. There's Kavan's second wind. And then as soon as that flamethrower turns, we're going to get some critters there just to get a little bit of extra distraction. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 back there. Just getting rid of the shock launcher. Just giving our heavies some opportunity to spread out nice and wide. And then hoping they do what we need them to do. And look at that. Just magical spread. Just like that. Not too shabby. Gonna get that critters over there to try and keep some of those guys on the left-hand side alive. And then, do we need anything else over here? Let's clear the shock mine. Do we have enough damage over there? Yes. Okay, so we've got decent spread happening. That back one's going to be the crux of this attack. And then, same deal. Shock. Look at that. Shock launcher getting 0 heavies. Like, not doing anything useful at all. And now, just all of our artillery on that thing. Our troops are going to get back there, and I might have wanted to use my artillery somewhere else, but it's too gosh darn late. And now get a move on heavies. We are going to get a fairly fast time yet again just by heavy rushing. Just heavy rush all day, every day. We got a 229. In Evil Beaver, speaking of people, another great player. So hoping we can steal some stars from some great players. Lifting ourselves on the shoulders of giants, trying to get into Diamond, and we shall see how this goes. So if the number of comments at the moment have been low on the tubes, and Falkor and Evil Beaver with the purple devil face comment, if you check down below, I'm willing to bet it's there before he even sees it. Did we get 15 stars? Are we going to get 14? Please give me 15 so we can call this a day. Of course. Evil Beaver, you're going to love it when you see this part. Look at this. 79 of 80. Just one more. Can we get someone else we recognize? We will have to find out. This is going to be the last battle regardless. This is like a 3-2 count with 2 out. The runners are all running. Either we're going to get our first loss or we're going to get Diamond, which is the goal of this video. Now, that is a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up this left-hand side. We're going to go all the way left, and we are going to see if we can get in and amongst the stuff. 1, 2, 3 there. There goes that sky shield. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 there. Don't care about that back one. Did I miss? Oh, no, I didn't have enough GBE. Okay, so that is not a giant concern of mine, but definitely need to be a little bit careful around 3 critter launchers and a shock launcher. So we're going to get going, and then once we get about there, I'm just going to flare right there. We're going to get right in the midst of all this stuff. I am going to get a shock out right about there, and then as we clear all of the things, I'm going to throw some critters back there. We're going to then just get going. Need to get a move on. Getting our critters, getting our dudes, and then clearing all of this stuff. Do not trifle with all of those things. All of those critter launchers would have absolutely ruined our attack if we let it, just like that shock launcher is trying to. And now we're just going to come back and get some engine rooms and get some shocks. And even that microwaver is crushing our heavies. Like, we are losing heavies left, right, and center. Not as quick as you probably would guess because we've got a decent amount of troop health, but need to be a lot bit cautious. Come on, critters. There we go. Critters saving the day. And now as we burn this final engine room, we are going to get a flare back there, throw a couple smokes, and we are going to get an artillery, and then it just all comes down to that final group of heavies getting that smoke out. Did we need to throw smoke? Not really, because we don't really have many heavies left. And now this, oh, look at that. We are going to fizzle our way into diamond just like that. Unless Super Stealth gives us like half of a star, we have picked up the win. So pretty gosh darn happy about that against some fairly gosh darn good players. Who did we match? Zinskelrogue. Never played that person in the history of my life, I don't think. We have cruised our way into diamond, and wanted to throw a big shout out to Evil Beaver and Falcor just because great players. And hopefully that gives you all of the tools you need. Now, you can do this with only 50% troop health, but it's not even close to as easy. And by the way, I just noticed that I've got bullet. We could have mixed bullet into that as well, but I feel like Kavan might be better. So, just to show you on a 7 engine room base, who had a 7 engine room base? Was it Sucro? No. So let's just find ourselves a 7 engine room. Okay, Evil Beaver, 7 engine room. Now, I'm going to show you here what people are doing with Heavy Choppa, Rocket Choppa. Is they're going something like, oh, we actually even use colors. Well, they're going like 1 boat Heavy Choppa, 1 boat Heavy Choppa, and then we're going to use orange here for the Rocket Choppas. They're doing something like, there's 2 boats. We've got 5 boats left. They're doing like 3 boats and 2 boats. And yes, I know that's only 7 boats. And then they're clearing over into this direction. And then, you guessed it, Mr. Kevy Kavan with the Bombardier are getting dropped somewhere into, why can I not, what is going? Anyways, they're getting Kevy Kavan and 1 boat of Bombardiers and just second winding all of this crap out. So you get your Rocket Choppas clearing over here, and you get Kavan clearing over here, and you can get very fast times against 7 engine rooms. Or you can just drop Heavy Choppas and just watch them clear everything, and into diamond you go. So hopefully this video has helped you, because I know a lot of different times attack strategies are difficult, and you have to get the timing down, and you got to watch the flank, and you lose a Rocket Choppa. But in this instance, it's just try and figure out which engine room is going to go down last and throw your GBE towards it. So that is all for me. Thank you for coming in, liking and sharing and subscribing, and finding my videos in the video inbox and commenting and booming those beaches. I'm Zedmot. Thanks for coming in. Peace.